Hey everybody, welcome back. In today's video, I want to have a look at standardized token protocol. But before I do, I first want to thank today's sponsor, FairDesk. FairDesk is an exchange where you can go to trade your crypto at super low fees. FairDesk also allows for copy trading, so by clicking the link in the description, you can sign up and follow my trades live. But hurry, because there's only 50 people that can follow my trades live. And with no KYC required, there really is no reason not to head over there now and sign up using the link in the description. It's super easy. You literally just make an account and boom, deposit some crypto, you're trading. So thanks again to FairDesk, and back to the video. Now, Standard Token Protocol, or STP, is basically a crypto that focuses on tokenization and interoperability. So if I have an NFT on Cardano, I can bring it over to Ethereum using STP. It also provides services like a decentralized governance and DAOs for other cryptocurrencies that they can use and integrate. But I think its main selling point is this sort of tokenization of other crypto assets. And I think that's what's caused this recent pump, because on the 15th of September, they announced in their Telegram that they'd recently acquired an AWNS Ethereum domain, which is sort of like... it's very hard to describe. Basically, it's you can make an address on this domain if you like, and all the NFTs that you get on this address and all the tokens that you get on this address you can use with all other AW supported games. So if I'm playing a decentralized game, a Web3 game, and I get a skin for a gun in one game, if it can be stored in my AW address, it can be used in any other AW supported game that would have that skin, if you get me. So it's all about sort of being able to use your stuff not just on one chain, which is cool. It is very cool. And you can thank Steve from down in the comments from the Fantom video and a few others for this recommendation. I would never have found STP without it, so thanks, Steve. Zooming out, STP paints a pretty basic sort of chart on how most altcoins have looked since 2020. That's when the coin launched back in March. We see sort of nothing happening up until 2021. We get an initial rally where lots of cryptos like Bitcoin and Ethereum put in all-time highs, and then we have a second rally for STP that lasted what seems a few days in October, late October, when a lot of other altcoins put in their all-time highs back in 2021. So it's not unnormal. It wasn't late or anything. There was lots of them that also put in all-time highs at this time. And yeah, ever since it's been following this downward trend as this very basic red line shows, you know, acting as a resistance. But what's strange about this token is that it's got very weird daily price action that goes on. So usually, for the last 2 years, this token's volume has been about 10 million daily. And I know you think that's quite a lot, but honestly, in the crypto space, it's not really. I mean, you know, Bitcoin would have billions of daily active volume trades on a normal day. You know, same with Ethereum, Cardano, all of them in the billions. So for 10 million, this is actually quite small. But it does show that obviously people are using the coin, which is good. What doesn't really add up with me is these sort of daily prices where the coin wicks up to 12 cents, having been at, you know, 5 cents the day before. And you can see it's weird. They have, like, obviously a few days of green beforehand where the price is slowly pushed up a little bit, and then an explosive sort of pump. And the more I've looked into it, the more it says foul play, in my opinion, because the trading volumes during these days have rocketed up. I have it here, I think. I don't know how much of this you can see. Well, I'll make sure you can see it. What am I on about in editing afterwards? But we can see July 8th of 2020. If we go to July 8th, our trading volume goes up to 23 million, which is double, basically. If we go to 12th of September, September 12, our trading volume goes up to 40 million. Whereas a few days before, literally the day before, it was at 4 million. Which is well below the normal 10 million that the coin was used to on that day. Even with these little pumps, we see the daily trading volume rocket up. And in my opinion, we are seeing a very similar thing play out kind of today. Not too similar. This does seem more natural, to be honest with you, after good news. We saw something like this with Rune, where Rune just had basically, 2 weeks of great price action, and then it got rejected at the $2 mark, came back down to like $1.50, and then it went back up to the $2 mark to get rejected again. But Rune put in like basically 100% move, a 2x. It went up to $2 from about $1. So this isn't too dissimilar in terms of this is where we put in our top at a 2x and got rejected, and we've fallen back onto this line here. It does seem to be playing out a lot quicker than Rune in terms of how quickly things have happened. If it is following that sort of a pattern, we could see another test at this level. I don't think we will personally, but again, with these coins, especially when we've seen artificial price movement happen a few times, quite a few times, more than a lot of other coins, it's not, I wouldn't be putting money on either way, because you could have another pump, because it's on this sort of support line, or we could just break through and go straight back down to where we were. And if we have a look at these pumps, we see that basically a few days later, we are literally where we were 2 weeks beforehand, before the pump, just before the pump. So again, it's kind of, I would stay away from this coin for the short term, to be honest with you. I wouldn't trust this price action, in my opinion. And I mean, I know with the announcement of this AWNS server on Ethereum is great, and I'm sure a lot of this price action is natural and healthy. But again, to have these crazy daily prices that literally, we reach them and then the price crashes, the bag gets sold, the rug pull basically of the pump. It just doesn't, it's all resting on this line basically. This is the current trajectory it's on. This is not a sustainable trajectory, not long term. Now, whether we stay at this level for a little while, sure, that would be natural, that's okay. Maybe we come up to retest, that would be natural as well. We could drop down below, that would be natural, probably, if this was all natural. All of those things could happen, but because I do believe foul play, personally, I would expect poor price action, or a second attempt at this pump. As you can see, zooming out again, I've drawn these sort of key levels that you might be interested in. This one is this sort of 3-cent level, 3.5-cent level that we've bounced off a few times since the beginning of the year, and even sort of gone into June when we had the summer lull when nothing was happening. Climbed back up, bounced back off, rallied up again, and now we are where we are on this sort of unsustainable trend, I will say, at the moment. This resistance that we bounced off, we've met a few times. We met before, at one of these very fishy price movements. We got rejected here. We can see along the way as well, we get rejected on a few of these little smaller pumps. It's a key level because once we broke below it here, the price absolutely collapsed, and we spent a lot of time bouncing off it. It acted as a very strong support for a very long time. Checking it here, checking it here, checking it here. We break below. Once we break below, we have a really strong drop, but then we manage to climb back above, and you can see it acts as a resistance for a few days. Climbs back above. Again, we get support again. So it's been a very important level, and you can see it's basically been around since its inception, since June of 2021. So, basically for 90% of the crypto's lifetime. and it is a very key resistance. If we manage to break above this level naturally in later on, it would act as a very, very, very bullish sort of sign for this crypto. As you can see, when we broke above it here at 8 cents, we went up to 14 cents very soon afterwards. And even though we couldn't stay above it, it still was very good price action, even if we did collapse down below. Same here, once we broke above it cleanly, we rocketed above and put in our all-time high, which again is a little fishy in my opinion, but you know, some of these altcoins just look fishy because they've got such low liquidity. But yeah, it's an interesting coin, definitely, but keep an eye out for this sort of resistance level here. I have a feeling with all of the macro headwinds in the crypto space, just with general, you know, where Bitcoin's headed, where Ethereum's headed, I do smell sort of maybe coming back to this level of 3.5 cent, coming back to maybe dip our toes into this value zone again. I don't think that's unlikely, whether that's in a few days if we get rejected here and the price dumps, or if it's in a month or 2 months, I'm not too sure. However, I was surprised how kind of almost static this coin's price action is. I mean, for most altcoins that swing, you know, 20% a month, I'm not saying this coin isn't swinging crazy amounts, but it does move from 2 cent on average, 2.5 cent to 13.5 cent, which isn't actually that crazy for the crypto space in general. I mean, it does have big wicks above, and it did spend a lot of time below when it first released, but in general it's a fairly kind of stable coin that operates within this sort of these two supports and resistances here. Sorry, I drew this other support line here. This has just been sort of a historical one that we've seemed to bounce at when times are at their worst. You can see in the summer lull of 2021 where a lot of cryptos, you know, dropped 60-70% very quickly after putting in all-time highs or, you know, good price action. They came down, and this level is usually much worse on a lot of vaults. But for STP, it kind of just came back down to where it was before the bull run, which wasn't too bad. And then, of course, we came down here after the FTX crash and slowly made our way up since. But again, not a bad project in terms of what I could find on what it's doing. I mean, it's obviously actively still working. It's building in the bear market, which is important. Would I be super bullish on this coin? No, personally. Sorry, Steve. I think to be honest with you, a lot of altcoins like this, they need to have something big that sort of catches a lot of eyes, and that often happens during their first bull run. They often have a great first bull run, and then, you know, they sort of don't do as great. You know, this is their golden hour or golden day in terms of STP, because this is literally 1 day movement here. It's all-time high, and then it drops down to, like, you know, 33% down after that. But sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. I don't think I think we could come back to this level. I think we to be honest with you, I don't think we will, but I think we'll come close. We might have another daily price that sends us around to this level, or a bit above or a bit below. I don't think it's going to be one of these coins that rockets up to like Cardano did to like $3 or something like this. But again, I can always be wrong. It's just because I smell a bit of dodgy price action movement, which kind of usually gives the vibe of a forgotten about coin, which of course could be a gem in the dirt, you know, a diamond in the dirt. Again, it's kind of for you to make your own decision, but I don't think I'll personally be putting my money into this coin. Again, do your own research. The crypto does seem to have solid fundamentals in terms of what it's doing, a decent developer base, people chatting on Telegram, you know. It's not a dead coin. and I think it will do well this bull run. It's obviously done really well beginning of this year. It's shown strength at the start of this year, but it's also just, it's kind of always been at this level, you know. For all of its sort of existence, it's kind of stayed within this, you know, below 7.5 cents and above 2.5 cents. It's not exceptional, is what I would say. Maybe it's a safer bet for an altcoin. But again, I would be more inclined, if you wanted to go for a safe bet in an altcoin, to put your money in something like Fantom or Cardano or XRP. You know, these sort of well-established coins. Again, sort of waffling now, but I can't see this doing a huge, crazy price action in a way that Cardano and XRP and all the other altcoins have, where they sort of build up to it and there's like a steady daily move up, you know, where over a month the price does a 5x, you know, and then over 2 weeks it does a 20x from its initial price here, which is kind of what's often seen. But this sort of daily price action of 2x and 5x and 3x, and then to crash back down again, it just doesn't sit right with me. And I would sort of, these would be red flags that I would just stay clear of. But again, totally up to you. You have to do your own research in this sort of thing. And just because some dude on the internet has told you he doesn't trust it, doesn't mean you should trust him that he doesn't trust it. But thanks guys so much for watching. I'm going to wrap this video up. I hope you have a great day. If you want to check out FairDesk down below with the link, it really helps out the channel. You can follow my trades live, and I try to make a trade every video I put out. So if you want to be on top of them and see them covered, go click that link. Subscribe if you like the videos. Thanks very much guys. Take care and see you soon. Bye.